Imagine a world where you sleep just 4 to 6 hours a night, yet still wake up full of energy.
Ooh.
No coffee, no exhaustion, just pure productivity. Across an average lifespan, you'd live 15 to 20% more life than someone who slept the regular 8 hours a night. What's more, you'd likely be more optimistic, healthy, and happy. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, scientists have made pills that will give you this superpower, and they might soon be publicly available. Thanks to studying people that naturally thrive on less than 6 hours of sleep due to a condition called familial natural short sleep, or FNSS.
Probably, I estimated maybe 15 to 20% more time than your average person, so I can get a lot more done.
Let's dive into the science of this phenomenon and how researchers are creating therapies to mimic it. So what exactly is FNSS? It's a rare condition where individuals regularly sleep less than 6 hours per night without suffering any cognitive or physical decline. These people don't just survive on little sleep, they thrive. Many famous individuals are known or presumed to have FNSS, including Nikola Tesla, Mozart, Martha Stewart, Barack Obama, and Bill Gates. There are many more famous examples, and as you can see, many are high achievers, with more on that fact coming up later in the video. So what's their secret? Well, it turns out that they carry certain genetic mutations in at least 4 genes: DEC2, NPSR1, mGlu-R1, and beta-1AR. The original groundbreaking findings have been spearheaded by Dr. Ying Hui Fu and her team at UCSF. They found a mutation in DEC2 which makes it worse at blocking the wakefulness neuropeptide orexins. This means that more orexins can run around, keeping individuals awake longer and likely contributing to other traits such as appetite. Other researchers found that an NPSR1 mutation created a more active receptor of the wakefulness-promoting neuropeptide S, or a mutation in the glutamate metabotropic receptor 1 gene, which reduced its ability to promote wakefulness signaling in the brain. And lastly, a mutation in the beta-adrenergic receptors, which resulted in higher levels of this protein in specific neurons of the brain tied to wakefulness. The TDLR of this is that these tiny tweaks in our DNA influence how the body regulates sleep cycles and energy restoration. While being able to sleep less and still thrive is a massive blessing in itself, that's not all of these mutations do. Researchers have found that FNSS individuals tend to be more energetic, driven, happier, optimistic, and slimmer than average. Individuals with FNSS seem to also be healthier, with recent studies suggesting that these mutations are protective against developing Alzheimer's disease, for instance.
It doesn't seem like they have any health problem, and a lot of them live till 80s and 90s or beyond, and very good multitaskers, and have higher pain thresholds. They have very good memory. They speak many languages. Or
Closer to home, this profile fits the description of my PhD supervisor, who thrived on 5 to 6 hours of sleep. He's extremely fit for his age, partly thanks to his twice-a-day workouts, and he was always driven and successful in seemingly everything he did, whether it was his career, investing, real estate, and even skiing, which he took up in his 40s, becoming an elite skier in a few years. One more point worth making is that people with FNSS get to live more because they sleep less. An average human spends 26 years out of 80 asleep, which means some people with FNSS get an extra 13 years of life because they sleep 4 hours instead of the average 8 per night. Now here's the kicker. Although less than 1% of the population have FNSS, scientists have started to untangle how these mutations can alter brain chemistry to keep us awake longer without all the symptoms of poor sleep, and make us more energetic and healthier. And they are working on therapies based on FNSS, which will help the rest of us that didn't win the genetic lottery to have the same shorter sleep benefits. Not to mention the therapeutic applications for individuals suffering from narcolepsy, chronic fatigue syndrome, sleep apnea, idiopathic hypersomnia, cognitive decline, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease, just to name a few. There are two main types of drugs being developed to mimic FNSS. The first aim at manipulating orexin levels, with the theory being that providing the brain with orexin at the right times could emulate the effect of the DEC2 mutation. One approach is to directly raise orexin A levels by taking the orexin neuropeptide, with some individuals already playing around with this approach. Another is using drugs that block orexin receptors in the brain, which would allow orexins to hang around longer to do their work. Both of these approaches are in clinical trials for insomnia and psychiatric disorders. The second type of drug options are gene therapies, using, for instance, CRISPR technology to add one of these 4 mutant genes. Gene editing using CRISPR technology has already been successfully used to treat humans with blood disorders. Lastly, viral vectors could be used to boost orexin signaling in the brain by either delivering the orexin gene or activating the orexin pathway in certain neurons, an approach that has successfully increased wakeful time by 13% in narcoleptic mice. Until more of these medications become publicly available and gather a longer safety record, the good news is we can mimic some of the benefits of short sleepers through science-backed strategies. We can prioritize sleep quality over quantity by focusing on improving deep and REM sleep with the help of sleep trackers like Aura or Whoop to monitor patterns. Having a regular sleep routine, including set sleep and wake times, and having a set sleep environment, which is cool, dark, and quiet. Stopping drinking stimulants such as coffee and teas and alcohol past noon. Optimizing your circadian rhythm by getting more sunlight to anchor your body clock and avoiding blue light exposure before bed. Boosting mitochondrial health by using supplements like NMN or CoQ10 to enhance cellular energy. Intermittent fasting can also help your mitochondria function more efficiently. Managing stress levels by practicing meditation, breathwork, and possibly taking adaptogens like ashwagandha to lower cholesterol levels. The bottom line, while you may not need less sleep, you can make the sleep you do get work smarter. So what have we learned? FNSS is a rare genetic gift that reveals how shorter sleep improves mood, productivity, health, and even lifespan. But if you weren't born with a FNSS mutation, there's hope, because scientists are close to creating pills that mimic these benefits. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to get more cutting-edge insights into longevity science, such as these videos outlining the best current interventions to slow aging.